Good question, one I've seen come up a few times. The short answer to the question is yes. Jonah was a literal person, and the things that you read about in the 4 chapters of Jonah are literal things that took place. We find in the New Testament that Jesus refers to Jonah and some of the things that took place. And so if Jesus taught it that it was real, then that's enough for me, more than enough for me. The reason so many people struggle with Jonah is because of what happened with the fish. They struggle to get their minds around somebody being swallowed by a fish, being in the belly for 3 days, and then coming back out. And I've heard loads of different ways people tried to explain what took place, to the point that some people make out it was just a story, an illustration. When all we have to do, it's very, very simple to understand what took place and answer the question, is just read the text. Just read the text, it's that simple. Let me read it to you. Jonah, chapter 1 and verse 17 says, "But the Lord provided." That word provided can be translated as provided, can be translated as appointed, and can be translated as prepared. So the Lord provided, appointed, and prepared a great fish to swallow Jonah. Here we see the answer. So many times people will look in the oceans and say, what sort of fish was it? This was one that was provided for, was prepared and appointed by God for this task. We might never see one like it again. We might never known one before it either. This was one that God had provided. And the God who created the heavens and the earth, the God who created me and you, the God who created all the animals we see, is more than capable, more than powerful to do exactly what the text tells us. To be able to prepare, to be able to appoint, and be able to provide a fish of this kind for this task. And so the answer is clear, it's there in Scripture. This is one that God had created, prepared and appointed. And for me, I see no issue in believing the text. And so for me, Jesus confirms it. When you read the text, the biggest issue that people have with Jonah is answered. And so I hope that helps you. God bless.